A lot of people ask me how I teach them both Cantonese and Mandarin fluently. I speak Mandarin but may not be as fluent. Reading pens really help us to learn to pronounce Mandarin properly for, Cantonese speaker like me. I have the privilege because I'm a stay-at-home mom that I can speak all day in Cantonese to them. But one rule is that if you want to learn any other language, you must speak it every day.
Yeah.
Expose to it every day for at least 1 hour. They are speaking fluently in English coming home. I wouldn't stop there in the middle of conversation if they're trying to say a complete sentence in English, but I will ask them to repeat that in Cantonese or say in Mandarin. If they have spoken in English and some grammar or use the vocabulary wrong, I will help them to correct them because I know that their meaning in Chinese is maybe slightly off. Or vice versa. If you already have the resources, why not just throw it at them when they're young, right? So
Definitely.
If you are a parent, like one parent, one language type of household, don't ever give up.
Welcome to Lolo Talk. If this is your first time tuning in, or if someone who knows how much you care about your child's Chinese learning journey shared this episode with you, I just want to say we are so glad you're here. This space is made specially for parents around the world who are committed to help their children grow in Chinese, even across language and cultural boundaries. If you like to receive weekly insights from global families who are raising little Chinese bookworms, just click the link in the show notes to subscribe to our newsletters. We'll send stories, tips, tools, and encouragement straight to your inbox to help you support your child even if you don't speak Chinese yourself. This episode you're about to hear wasn't just recorded for you. It might also be exactly what another parent, a friend, or a confused family needs to hear right now. Please consider sharing it with someone who's on a similar journey. Because of one real story, one honest conversation about learning Chinese could change the direction of an entire family. Now let's begin today's story. Every episode is like a letter just for you, saying you're not alone. We're walking this path of raising Chinese readers together. Welcome back to Lolo Talk, the podcast for families raising Chinese readers around the world. I'm Irene, and today we're diving into part 2 of our inspiring conversation with Michelle, the creator of Cantonese Mommy. If you ever wonder how to raise bilingual kids in both Cantonese and Mandarin in a place where neither is the dominant language, Michelle's journey will speak straight to your heart. In part 1, we explored how she built a strong language foundation at home, raised 2 independent readers, and why she believes so deeply in keeping Cantonese alive in her family. In part 2, we're going to go even deeper. Michelle shares her go-to strategies for making Cantonese and Mandarin part of her daily life, how she integrates Lolo reading system into their routine, and why buying the whole set was one of her best decisions. The power of community, identity, trusting your own parenting instincts. This is a conversation full of truth, love, and practical insight. Let's jump into part 2 with Michelle, Cantonese Mommy, right here on Lolo Talk. So if now you're facing a really new parent, new mom, let's say. For example, if there's a mom in front of you and she can speak Cantonese, and then she's not sure if her child can be independent reading in both Cantonese and Mandarin, like what advice you will give her to do, how do I say it? Like, what advice? Like, to start with Cantonese first, and then at what stage bring in Mandarin, or how? Like, how will you support this mom?
Well, it really depends on how much time that mom has, because I know there are lots of both working parents. Doesn't have to be a mom, it could be a dad to teach a language, but it really depends on the timing, because for me, I have the privilege, because I'm a stay-at-home mom, that I can speak all day in Cantonese to them. And but one rule is that if you want to learn any other language, you must speak it every day exposed to it every day for at least 1 hour, and that's scientific rules. So for my children, they start exposure to Mandarin when they were babies already. So the first language, of course, is Cantonese. And the second language that I intend to teach them was Mandarin. And English, I did not teach them at all. I did not talk to them in English. They only listen to music, songs. Like I take them to English sing along outside, music group. They listen to other people around them, but I did not intentionally speak English to them. I don't do any translations. I don't teach them ABC, but I do I do focus on Mandarin as a second language first. Their English is their third language. So since they were babies, we have play dates every week, have Mandarin speaking play dates. So they know that when I'm in this friend's house, all we are speaking is Mandarin. And then I consistently hang out with one family that we have lunch every Wednesday, and then our kids play together since they were babies, and then until they're toddler, they start talking to each other. And so way before they can talk, they already listen for about half a year for us to adults speaking Mandarin, right? And by the time they learn how to speak, I mean, those kids are playing with each other, and then they will start speaking already. Because they know that in this household with these friends, at that situation, that environment, all we are speaking is Mandarin. So they know that by the location and friend, that's the language that we speak. And that I don't do any translation as well.
No.
So I would say, 你要不要吃这个苹果? I will just hold up an apple and then hand it to my child and 要不要吃? And then just wait for their reaction. I would not translate it in English or in Cantonese. I just say it as if I'm a stranger that only speaks Mandarin. So if you do that often enough, then you don't really need to translate. I mean, you're not talking about rocket science stuff with your children, right? All they care is about going to bathroom, eat, and clean up. That's it. Or don't do this. 不要不要. Don't run so fast, 你小心哦, they will always hear those same phrases. And then my children, both of my children goes to Mandarin immersion preschool when they were 3. And they did not, that would be the first all Mandarin environments for them. So for majority of the day, they will listen to teachers only speaking Mandarin to them. And that was and then after the Mandarin preschool for the whole year, and then they will start learning English at 4 years old in public school in New York. Yes. So it's going to be just all English. And then when they go into the school, they do not know a word of English. So
my kids was the same.
No.
I sort of know how you feel.
Huh?
Yeah. I sort of know how you feel because my kids was born and grow up in Australia, and then the moment I send them to public school, teachers wonder are they really growing up in Australia? How come their English is so basic?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in New York it's different because New York has it's so diverse and so many families speak a different language at home. So it is a norm that not necessarily all the children will speak English when they go to school.
That's nice.
Their classmates have some speak Spanish, some French, all the other languages. And so, but they are genius, I would say. All they were hearing, just listening English around them from the environment. Because I don't intentionally teach them. And then when they were 3, they went to Mandarin speaking school. So all the English were just listening for, at the playground, or some of my other friends will speak English and from the conversation that adults have. And then they because they already have the foundation of listening, and then when they want to speak, it's just quite easy. So by the time like 1 or 2 months, they are speaking fluently in English coming home, you know. But how do I, police them when they come home speaking English? So I would say I am a strict police. I mean, I wouldn't stop there in the middle of conversation. If they're trying to say a complete sentence in English, I would not stop them. But I will ask them to repeat that in Chinese. Either you say in Cantonese or say in Mandarin, doesn't matter. But you need to repeat it. I don't mind you speaking English, but if you do, you have to speak again in Chinese to me.
Yeah.
So, and when they do that, I will make sure that like they speak both language properly. So if they have spoken in English and some grammar or use the vocabulary wrong, I will help them to correct them, because I know that their meaning in Chinese is maybe slightly off, or vice versa. If they speak in English fluently and then when their Chinese is not, missing of vocabularies or wrong grammar, I will correct them. So I think that's a very important skill to have. If you don't ask your children to repeat it, you don't give them an opportunity to learn the proper way to speak it,
They get to they need to have chance to hear the proper way.
Yes.
Yeah, because we found the situation is we have many children, they are bilingual, say English and Mandarin, up until maybe 6 years old, and after they enter primary school, their Mandarin can like go downhill very fast. And the main reason is the family. The family it can be dad or mom, and that they didn't know they have to not really. I won't use the word correct. I will say to provide them the chance to hear the correct input. They need to have the chance to hear the correct grammar, correct vocabulary, the correct order of the sentence for them to be able to use the language. But the ideal is really like your children, like they repeat after you give them an example. But sometimes there's conflict, like, like some kids, they just refuse to copy or repeat. So they might need other strategies, but I think something really important is the parents that they cannot give up providing correct Mandarin or Cantonese input, because they need to have the chance to hear the correct sentence so they can improve. But if you give up, you feel like, okay, now they only speak English to me, then I have to speak English back to them, then they have no whatsoever input, and then that's why everyone goes downhill.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick pause and breathe for a few seconds. If you're listening to this episode of Lele Talk, think of another parent you know who are trying their best to support their child's Chinese learning journey. Please share this episode with them. It might be the one message or one moment of encouragement they need today. Many times it feels like we're doing this alone, but the truth is there are families just like yours around the world, showing up every day with love, stories, and patience to help their children connect with Chinese. Here at Lele, we believe language is more than a tool. It's connection, memory, and identity. If you love to receive weekly inspiration, practical tips, and reading resources, we'd love to invite you to join our free Lele newsletter, like a personal letter written just for you every week, to remind you you're not alone. You're doing enough, and we are here to help you keep going. Head over to lelechinese.co/subscribe or simply click the link in the show notes to join. And if you ever asked yourself, my child isn't learning Chinese, is it my fault? Please know, it's not because you are not enough. It's because this journey deserves better support. And Lele is here to work it with you. Plus, we've prepared a free gift just for you. A downloadable Lele simple book that you'll get once you subscribe. It's a simple, gentle way to create a joyful, connected Chinese learning space starting right now. Now let's return to today's inspiring conversation.
And I think as they are getting older, it may not work for like second generation Cantonese or Mandarin speaker because the parents may not have the level to, learn how to speak more adult conversation, like using 四字成语, which are something that like already passed a lot of book set because a lot of book set does not 四字成语. But as my son are growing older, like he's 9 right now, so he often uses lots of 四字成语 in the idioms in his conversation. So for example, like if I was talking, yelling at him, like not 跟他 yell, like giving him a lecture, and then sometimes he'll say, "Mom, 妈妈你不要雪上加霜好不好?"
雪上加霜。
对，雪上加霜。So I'm happy that he is able to use those characters. And how he remember to, use it is because me as a fluent speaker, native speaker, I use those vocabulary in my daily conversations to enhance their conversation level. So that's why I think it's important to see their age. If it's age appropriate, then you can start like infusing some more difficult topic, or like let them watch news, or watch like doesn't have to be for my kids, like most of their entertainment when they were younger are all in Mandarin. And for my daughter, it's a little different because now she has she will watch the show in English too, but then I will also provide her the same show in Mandarin or Cantonese. But I would say the second child has more English exposure than the older one.
That's normal. That's very normal because you have especially because your two children, they have a bigger age gap.
Yes.
So when the younger one is building her language in multilingual settings, like when you were talking about earlier how you set up your home, we feel like you sort of try to keep English outside of the home to a later time. But because your younger one, when she start to build up her language, the older one already fluent in English. That's why it's really hard to support the second child, and that seems to be very normal for family settings like ours.
Normal. So that's why like I said like I still need to maintain my older child's Chinese level on top of that teaching the younger one. So my older one will watch some shows like kind of like cooking shows in Chinese, like doesn't matter. And now he's really into insects like 昆虫. And he watched lots of YouTube 昆虫的YouTuber shows. Lots of them are Taiwanese and watching in Mandarin, and which is great. And now he knows the whole concepts 昆虫 in all Cantonese and Mandarin and English. And he is able to use his language skills to enhance his hobbies and his knowledge of the entomologies field, because there are lots of shows I noticed on YouTube are in Chinese, and because in Asia there's more bugs and compared to America, so therefore he was because he knows Mandarin, it enable his interest and border his knowledge on certain topic, which I'm so grateful. And that's why I want to continue to teach my children Chinese and not giving up, because it's helpful in so many ways. And my daughter is, and different children have different learning path, and I am gonna work on this, and hopefully one day she is able to find her passion using the language knowledge that she knows.
Yeah, I think this is why it's so important for us to support our children to gain the ability to read on their own. Because once they can read, like a child who can read and a child who cannot read, their Chinese level can go really differently. Because the child who can read, they sort of turn themselves to a learning machine. They can source everything they are interested, and then like, I believe there must be many moments your son came back and told me, "Hey, mom, do you know this? Do you know that? That I learned from a Chinese book or learned from a Chinese video." But if a child cannot read, it's very possible they hit a level, because the everyday conversation sometimes can be boring, and sometimes when we are busy, it can be limit us to build a relationship.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Like, I am very happy that because of the language, and it help him to learn a lot of Cantonese culture as well, because he knows how to read, and it just and how to sing. You know, like one thing, a lot of Asia Chinese singers, especially singers in Hong Kong, not only they sing Cantonese songs, they sing Mandarin songs too, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that like they know both language and they know how to read, because recently there's a singer Deng Ziqi, you know her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Deng Ziqi is like really famous all over China and Hong Kong, and we went to her concert in New York, and there was you know, a lot of songs that she sings. She sings in Mandarin and Cantonese, and there was the big TV screens with the 中文字幕, the lyric written in Chinese.
Yeah.
And then he was just singing along with the lyric, and like I'm like so touched at that moment, because some of her songs that she sings are the old Cantonese songs, and then she just sing it again in her own versions. And when she was I don't know if you know Beyond, the Cantonese band.
Yes.
And then she was singing 海阔天空. Do you know that
Beyond song? Yeah.
It's like a song that like our generation, or my mom's like generation, everybody know, like, you know, 今天我和夜裏.
Yeah.
You know, like that song, when she was singing it, I'm like almost crying, you know, and that song actually means a lot in our family. And this is a reason why I think teaching Chinese, no matter Mandarin or Cantonese, is like a number one priority in our family. It's not an option. It's not an elective.
We're going to take a quick pause, but while we do, I want to ask you a small favor. If this episode has resonated with you, please share it with a parent you care about, because this conversation might be exactly what they need today, a moment of encouragement, hope, and a reminder that they're not alone, that they're doing a great job, and that their love and effort truly matter. Lala Talk is a space created for families around the world who are raising children in multilingual homes. Here, you'll hear stories from parents in many countries and cultures, all learning how to help their kids fall in love with the Chinese language. And you'll see the true progress doesn't come from talent. It comes from showing up every day with love and consistency. If your goal is to help your child speak, read, and feel connected to Chinese language and culture, even while living overseas, then we have something special for you. Visit lelachinese.co/subscribe to join our free newsletter. You'll get real parent stories, reading strategies, and fresh updates straight to your inbox each week. Just tap in the link in the show notes to subscribe now. The world is wide, but every family that commits to their heritage language is a bright light in the darkness. Let's keep lighting in the path for more families together. Now let's return to today's inspiring conversation.
You must learn it. You must speak it really well because it ties so much knowledge to our cultures. So when he was singing that song, I would tell him, your late uncle used to sing that song a lot. And your late uncle is only half Chinese. And he grew up in a non-Chinese, non-Cantonese speaking environment. And he was able to sing and play that song. And you see how important, how Cantonese are in our family. Even though he grew up in a non-Chinese speaking family, non-Chinese speaking country environment in the old days without all these Chinese folk. And he's able to, keep it up. And now you are, have everything. You have internet, you have all these books, and you're telling me you are not speaking it fluently, and that's a joke, right? So when I was telling that story with that song, and it just kind of like have so many culture, family stories, and history that can pass on to him, And I think when he was able to get the song meanings and understand it, I just feel so touched, I just no word can explain it. And also the other thing that I feel grateful is that he's able to communicate to his grandfather who speaks only Cantonese, even though he lived in the US for most of his life. He can survive speaking only Cantonese in New York City. And, well, I guess that's how my husband is speaking okay Cantonese, because my in-law only speak Cantonese and no English whatsoever. So because we continue speaking the language at home, my husband's Cantonese actually got improved by listening to us and kind of brought back memories. The more you use
now in your family, it's a little Cantonese living environment. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. In your household, that's the Cantonese learning environment, living environment.
It is thankful, but not everyone is have a partner that speak the same language. But that's okay, Like my cousin was a great example, without the resource, with only mom speaking Cantonese at home without learning how to read Chinese, they're able to speak it, If you're able to speak it first, later, when you're in the 20s, you can still learn it yourself, right?
Yes.
But if you already have the resources, why not just throw it at them when they're young, right? So
Definitely.
If you are a parent, like one language type of household, don't ever give up. If you have a goal, keep learning with your children. It's so, very intuitive. You have the reading pen and just point at each characters, each line. You just gotta do some homework, you just cannot be lazy if you want to teach your kids something.
No.
Right?
No. Wow. I feel like I've learned so much from you today. And I believe this episode is gonna help so many families, especially with Cantonese families that sometimes they feel really confused. Should they speak Cantonese, or will their kids be able to learn Mandarin at the same time? But you show us the possibility, and this is really amazing.
Because we already have such great tools, right?
Yeah.
We have the books, we have the reading pad, you can learn it, we don't have to stop learning. We can learn together with our children. And it's proven that our brain can learn. So keep learning together and keep reading together. We can all do it. And if any one of you have any questions, feel free to DM me at Cantonese Mommy or ask Irene. We are always here for you, right?
Yeah. We don't like to see people want to give up. If you want to give us a DM, send us a message. Tell us what you've been struggling, and we will give you the answer to break through.
Yes, we have, form a little reading circle with other kids to read together. I think that's really helpful. That's a motivation. If other kids, you commit to read it every single week, I am sure that you can get through this 300 books in no time, in a year. There's 360 days in 65 days in a year. There's only 300 books and you still have 65 days to rest. So do it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's so cool. Thank you so much, Michelle, today. It's amazing, and I want to see how other families benefit from your share, and I'll definitely pass this information to you. Thank you so much for today.
谢谢你，再见。
广东话谢谢要怎么说？多謝
啊？
广东话的谢谢要怎么说？
多謝。Yeah, Cantonese like thank you has two ways to say it. Like if it's a gift, then you say 多謝. But if it's someone asks you to do something, you say 唔該.
Oh, 唔該.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Well, I think we need to invite you for another time. Cool.
Anytime.
Fantastic. Thanks. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Wow, what a powerful conversation with Michelle from Cantonese Mommy. Whether you are raising your kids in a Cantonese speaking home, a Mandarin speaking home one, or juggling multiple languages in a non-Chinese environment, Michelle's story reminds us: 1. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. 2. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing what matters consistently. Her commitment to reading, to language, and to identity building is something we can all be inspired by. If today's episode lit a spark in you, don't forget to leave us a review to help our podcast to spread more, to help more people. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Lala Talk so you won't miss the next episode. And if the conversation encourage and empower you, please take a moment to share it with another parent walking the same path. Want weekly tips, resources, and encouragement sent straight to your inbox? Just join our free newsletter at lolachinese.com/subscribe. Your journey matters, and we're here to walk it with you. Until the next time, keep reading, keep connecting, and remember, you don't have to be a Chinese teacher to raise a Chinese reader. You just need to be the one who reads with love every day. Are you feeling stuck? Like nothing is working? Does it feel like your child is always struggling with Chinese? You might be heading in the right direction. Just a few small shifts in approach can help a big difference. If you're on this journey, helping your child learn Chinese, and you've doubted your choices along the way, there's something important you need to hear. You are trying so hard, and you are already doing the most important thing: showing up, using love and language to connect your life and stories. This is why we created Lala Talk, a podcast where we invite families around the world to share their honest experiences, the challenges they faced, breakthroughs they never expected, and those quiet, beautiful moments that made it all worth it. If you're looking for more inspiration, tools, and support, join our free weekly newsletter. Once a week, we'll send you a message like a personal letter straight to your inbox, reminding you you are not alone. We're in this together. Subscribe at lolachinese.co/subscribe or click the link in the show notes to begin this journey of connection through reading and language. You don't have to be a Chinese teacher, you just have to be the parent who shows up to read one more page with your child every day.